Good evening, mamas, and welcome back to Midlight, your light in the middle of the night. I was thinking tonight about the verse from Nehemiah 8:10, which says, "The joy of the Lord is our strength." And then I started thinking about joy, and why does it bring us strength if it comes from the Lord? And then I realized this was God's plan. And I thought about how much easier it is to really do just about anything if you have joy behind the action. And it's interesting because as I was studying Nehemiah 8:10, I realized that it came in the midst of a time where the people at that time in the chapter of Nehemiah were being talked to by Ezra, and they had made poor choices, and they were kind of being corrected by God. But he didn't want them to lose heart, so he told them to stop feeling guilty and to stop grieving and to declare that as a day to rejoice and have a feast, because the Lord knows that we have more strength in us when we have joy than when we have sadness or sorrow. And joy is one of those things that when we have that, when we take care of our babies and our children with joy, it's contagious in our homes, and they can feel that. They feed off of our joy. And what a gift it is that we as mamas can share joy with our families, because if the joy of the Lord is our strength, then the joy of the Lord is their strength too. So it's an amazing thing to go through life and do the mundane things, do the duties ahead of us, and use our hands and serve our families, but behind the action is joy. I want to be a joy spreader more than anywhere else on the planet within the walls of my home, because I want my children to understand that joy is a beautiful way to live. Not all of life is going to be wonderful and lovely. There will be hard times. There will be catastrophes. There will be things that are not what we expected. But if joy is the root of how we choose to handle those around us and love them with joy in our dispositions and in our hands as we serve, if we truly allow joy to seep down into our bones, then we can be such a beautiful display of how God feels about us and them. Because if it isn't just the world's joy, but it is the Lord's joy that's in us, we will be a beautiful reflection of who He has called us to be as mamas. And does that not shift the entire situation for our families? I am married to a wonderful man, and I have learned something about him. He would want me to have joy every day, all day, if he could be the one to create that. But the beautiful thing is it's not his job. It's not anybody's job. It is just strictly something that comes from the Lord. So what I have discovered is when I am joyful and I am walking around with a lighter step and a heart that is light because I am allowing the Lord's joy in me, it really affects my children. It really affects my husband. I notice that even if he's having a harder day, if he comes home and I have joy, I find he smiles easier. I find that laughing is truly medicine for the soul here. So I would encourage you, mamas, to try to live a life that is joyful. And I would not encourage you to have fabricated joy, like joy that's just made up. But I would encourage you to do this. I would encourage you to take from the word in Nehemiah 8:10, and I would allow the joy of the Lord to be your strength. I'm going to read you another verse now. And it comes from Psalm 28:7, and it says this: "The Lord is my strength and my shield. In him my heart trusts, and I am helped. My heart exults, And with my song, I give thanks to Him. The Lord is my strength and my shield. Is that not encouraging, that our strength does not have to be on our own? And that we know the joy of the Lord is that strength, and that He's also our shield. How beautiful is that? And then it says, in Him my heart trusts, and I am helped. Wow. I don't know about you, but many times when I had little babies and I was up so much of the night and just very exhausted, I remember thinking, I just need help. And I didn't even always know what that looked like, other than I really knew I wanted some sleep sometimes. But it says here that in Him my heart trusts and I am helped. God is here to help you. He understands. He sees your heart. He sees your feelings. And even the ones that are just loving this season with your new baby, but also really tired. The Lord sees you, and He says that in your heart you can trust Him, and He will help you. And He says that He will be your shield. He will protect you during this time. And mamas, I know for some of you that are in the throes of postpartum, that even listening to a podcast about joy might feel heavy, because you are in a season that has a lot of demands. But I want you to know that something I took on when I was in these seasons was, I have to do it anyway. I'm going to have to get up with the baby again, and the needs are going to keep coming. There will be laundry, there will be dishes, there will be appointments, there will be things that are pulling on me. But I have two options. I can do it in a way that is frustrating and I feel at the wit's end, or I can have joy in my heart that comes from the Lord as I tend to the very things that He has entrusted to me. Since we now know that the joy of the Lord is our strength, I encourage you to embrace that and know that it's not on your own, that the Lord is with you and that He will strengthen you. He will even uphold you with His righteous right hand. You are not alone, Mama. So I look forward to spending more time with you again soon. And in the meantime, I pray that you find joy in the journey of your motherhood. Before we go for the night, I want to pray the blessing over you from Numbers chapter 6 and verse 24 through 26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. Take care, Mama.